Good morning. Here on January 8th, I believe we're January 8th, 6 degrees at my house this morning. I did do a little snow shoveling. As you can see, we've gotten a little bit of snow. By the way, that is sold. Sold, I say. I have the camera pushed out a little bit today. I'm just kind of curious how it's going to work. The sun's going to be right in the lens in a few minutes, so it's probably going to blur out, but we'll see what it looks like. Anyway, I've got a short week. I guess that would be a good way of putting it this week. Could be a short month, actually. So, we'll see. Anyway, the traffic, the weather conditions right now aren't too bad because the snow is pretty cold, so it's not terribly slippery. It's a little bit slippery, but it isn't awful. So that is good. It's going to get worse. I mean, we're going to have apparently we're not going to get sun today or snow today, but we'll be getting it tomorrow. So we've got just a bit of a break. But winter has come. It looks to me like we're going to get a whole week's worth of snow. We've gotten 2 days? Yeah, 2 days worth of snow so far. Nothing really big, but it's one of those patterns that we get around here where we get a little bit every day, and it adds up, just continues to add up. So let's see what the main roads look like. Not too bad. I'll just keep rolling until I either say something extremely stupid That dude's got a high speed. He's probably doing about 15. The skid steer. So the main road looks pretty dang good. If they kept it this good through town, then I think Highway 40 is going to look pretty decent, but we'll see. And I don't really know how many people are going to be on the road today. Probably just people that need to be. But when I say that, I mean, that's usually the case for everyone. If you're not on, if you don't need to be, you're not on the road. Sorry. But yeah, the road looks pretty dang good, y'all. I'm impressed. I've got it in part-time four-wheel drive, which means limited slip. Four-wheel drive. I believe that's how my transfer case works. I have full-time and part-time four-wheel drive in this Jeep. And I think that the full-time is actually more like for a highway. That is my guess. The way the road looks, I don't know that I need to bother. I'm going to go ahead and just take it out for now. Some clouds going up. That's probably, if you can even see those clouds, it might be hard to see in the camera, but they're down in a valley. I think they're heading up towards Elkhead Reservoir, Elkhead Creek. Oh yeah, look at this road, it's beautiful. This is well, I'll put the cruise in. I have coffee too, although I'd like to let it cool off just a little bit. My little travel mug does keep my coffee warm. Pretty damn good. But the way that it's made, I can't take little tiny sips without getting like way too much. If I'm really careful, I can make it work, but I'm usually driving when I'm drinking this and paying attention to the road, so I end up burning my lips pretty good with it. I'm still happy to have the coffee, but yeah, it can be a little painful. was watching on X, lady posting what's going on in Germany. The farmers have had enough, man. They're out protesting. It's really nice to see. And I have a feeling Texas might become, I don't know if a flashpoint would be the right term, but maybe. Maybe. I mean, we've got a criminal regime installed into 2020. We all know this. These people cheated their way into the White House, and they are, right now, Biden's major accomplishment has been destroying the immigration system as thoroughly as he can. That's really his only accomplishment. Well, that and what? Beefing up the federal government in ways that help the Democrats. That's probably the best way to put that. Yeah, this fog is going up the Elk River Valley. It's kind of neat. So you may notice I'm in a Jeep. So my windows are pretty scarred. That's why I have it pushed out kind of far today. So if it looks like I'm tailgating a vehicle, just for reference, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm 5 seconds behind the vehicle in front of me. And we're doing highway speed. We're doing 65. Maybe a skosh over. Sketch. Something like that. And as you can tell, the trees are all coated with ice. I may have made a mistake by hanging back, wondering if these people are gonna I'll get around them. Try that. But today I'm not interested in speeding. Not that I am ever interested in speeding. I just want to get around people that are going slow. And those two people are going slow. So I've been watching my sister's videos. She's always interesting to watch. She's really improved her video. She has a camera like mine. She actually had two of them. The first one she bought broke. Talk about bad luck. And she got another one, and it just takes beautiful pictures. And so I love watching her stuff, especially because she's on roads where there's green. You know, she was down in Houston, I think it was last week, and there's green grass, and it's, you know, it's you can tell it's warm, it's pleasant, it's pretty. So I miss that. You know, if I didn't have such bad hay fever, I wouldn't mind living down south. The hay fever just, it's bad. If I could find a better way to deal with it, you know, I don't know what you do. Last time I was down there helping her husband, and that was a lot of fun. But I had to take so many hay fever pills that I was asleep all the time, and that's not good. I mean, you know, he was doing HVAC stuff at the time and doing a lot of driving, and part of having somebody there was to help him stay awake, you know, while he's driving. And when I'm passed out asleep, and you know, plus when you're on hay fever pills, I mean, they basically dry your brain out. So it was, I liked working with them, but I couldn't, it was killing me to take that hay fever. I mean, I was taking, I think, like the over-the-counter version of Claritin or something like that, but I had to take about 4 times the amount to get any kind of a result, any kind of decent reaction from the medicine, I guess is another way to put it, or a way to put it. No. My body puts up with the pollen around here quite a bit better. I still get a little bit allergic. Probably sage. Sage is, it may not be the worst type of pollen out here. And the pine, the pine trees, trees put out quite a bit of pollen too. But there's just so much sage. It's the pollen is ubiquitous. Would that be the right term? Be a chilly day to be working outside. I see they got everything screened in with visqueen, which makes good sense. I'm going to attempt. Yeah, some coffee. Hayden Joe's aren't quite as good as Craig's. But they could have gotten a little bit more snow. It doesn't really look like it. But yesterday, I heard the snowplows working all day. They were on the ball. They were all day long going up the side streets. And the side streets are pretty snowy. But they are, well, I should say snowy, not thick snowy. They've been snowed on, but they've also been plowed and sanded. So they're pretty safe to drive on. All right, made it out of Hayden safe. Anyway, so I've been watching Sue's videos, and it's great. I'm glad she does them. I think she's getting tired of doing the driving stuff, so I don't know how much longer she's going to be shooting those videos, but I think it's an interesting format. The format that she does, and I do very similar, just run the camera and talk. And then there's a guy in Tokyo. I call him Uol Toyo. I think it's Utitoyo. Toyo. Whatever. He does videos where he puts music to some of them, but they're in real time. Or he won't say anything, he'll just drive. What I can gather by looking at all these different kinds of videos is that I think the most popular videos, driving videos, are the freeway gym style videos where you'll drive a long distance. You'll condense it down into maybe 10 minutes, maybe 8, maybe 15. You'll put music to it, speed it up. And European roadways, I think. European roads, a channel in Europe, same thing. He does the freeway gym thing, or freeway gym, whatever, I'm not saying that they're copying, but that's his format. And that's a pretty cool format. I mean, I like watching it. Then there are some other people, I think Sig's travel videos, there are several actually, that record, they just record. Going down the road, they don't talk. You hear engine noise, that's all. Those seem to be the second tier in popularity. And by the way, there are several people in the States that do videos like that. Mystic World? That can't be a channel, but a person that does videos mainly in the West, it seems like the Western United States. Freeway Jim is probably the big guy, but Interstate Kyle was another guy that does that same thing. Videos, fast forward, puts up the music. They do pretty good, but I don't think that they can make a living doing those kind of videos. Even the SIGs travel videos, I don't think they're making a lot of money. But I could be wrong. Then there are the train videos, which I really like that, because I mean, how often do you get the chance to look out of the cab window of an engine, you know, on a railroad track? And those are pretty much shot in real time with no narration, but a lot of annotation. You know, people, they don't narrate, but you can hear what's going on. You know, sometimes you can hear the radio and you can hear the people. It's just, you know, it's a cool way to do it. What I'm finding is that the least popular way to shoot a video like this is the way that my sister does it and the way that I do it. And so even though if you wanted to, you could mute my channel, not listen to the commentary, and just watch the video. I think a lot of people don't want to do that. I think that, you know, it's just this is the least popular way to do them. And so I'm looking, after a year of doing this, I watched the subscribers, because I've got like 361, I think, last week for a couple moments, and it went down to like 357. Probably lost a few people that watched the Steamboat video and were well, probably when I get talking about politics, I lose some people and gain some people. But I think the thing that everyone has in common is that they like this kind of a video, or they wouldn't be here in the first place. So I don't know what I can learn, if anything, from, you know, going through this, but it's just an interesting deal. I like this kind of a video. The only other person that I can think of that would do video in real time and add narration is Action Kid, and he's really popular. But he does his videos, he'll walk through New York or different places, he'll travel to different countries, different cities, and do videos. He went across the United States last year. That was pretty cool. He was up in Rocky Mountain National Park. Now his videos are really popular. He stays away from politics. He talks, like I said, he just veers away from politics. My opinion about that is, personally, I'd rather know about what someone's politics are, at the risk of, if they were leftists, being annoyed with them. And not watching their channel anymore. Or, you know, because I'm a conservative. Well, this guy is the guy in front of us He's in a four-wheel drive pickup. Now, he may have really crappy tires, but he's going extremely slow here. I think the speed limit's 55. We're not even, well, we're in the high 30s right now. Looks to me like CDOT has probably put some antifreeze on this road. How's that look to it? And it doesn't look great through here. It does look like black ice. I'll give them that. I'm certainly not going to push it. So I guess what I'm saying is that you guys, my audience and my sister's audience, we are the most select of all the audiences out there that watch this kind of video. We are, this is the most select audience. Well, I got someone behind me in a pickup, and he's impatient, and he's getting on my ass. I don't think the road is bad, but I think that there could be some black ice here. It looks to me like there's some evidence of it. This guy's getting right on my ass. I really like that. But right around the corner is a passing lane. And so people will crowd up right here because they want to get queued up and get around everybody. Get around this guy. But the road does look slippery here. It doesn't look great. I'm taking my time on it. And I put it back in four-wheel drive. Yeah, it just doesn't look very good here. definitely, I understand why people are going slower. I don't think it's as bad as it looks, and I haven't hit my brakes to verify it, but I'm just taking my time. We're getting ready to head into Milner. The road looks better here. We have some snow on it, but it's not got that glistening look to it that it had back there. Anyway. Because I can brake. Oh yeah, we got lots of brake. Got lots of braking power. You probably couldn't tell that I hit the brakes, but I did, and they grabbed quite well. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that I appreciate all of you subscribers for appreciating this experiment that I've been doing for a year now. I think it's been a lot of fun to document the roads, and I don't mind doing the political stuff either, because I mean, that's just how I honestly feel about stuff. And if I'm gonna, I understand people that just want to make money with YouTube. I mean, if I can make money with YouTube and do this, that'd be great. I don't have anything against it, but I don't want to lie about my opinions just to make money. And at some point, when you're censoring your opinion, self-censoring so you can make money, I mean, you know, it just depends, I guess. I guess I'm kind of, just not entirely sure. I mean, there are different ways to look at it. I like the stuff that Action Kid does. He stays away from politics and does a nice video. And he makes his living doing that. If he all of a sudden started being political, he would run off, depending on which direction he went, right or left. I would assume he's probably more to the left, but I don't know. He would probably run off, you know, half of this crowd. But I do believe there are certainly a lot more conservatives in our country that maybe don't call themselves Republicans, because I am ashamed of what the Republicans do. I was a Republican until about 12 years ago. I guess I gave it up. I couldn't stomach their fucking policies because they were such two-faced bastards. And that's a big reason why we're in the trouble that we're in now. Because Republicans will sit on their hands and not do a damn thing. And what the hell happened to Lauren Boebert? I'm wondering what happened to her. Did she get paid off? I mean, did they do their version of Epstein's, island to Lauren? I haven't seen a whole lot about her lately. I haven't seen much of her on Twitter lately. And I understand that when you become political, especially in times like these, people get pissed. They like, look at what's happening to Texas. Texas is just trying to defend its borders, which the federal government is constitutionally obligated to do for Texas. But they're not doing it. In fact, and Elon Musk pointed this out. The federal government is aiding and abetting. They're giving aid and comfort to foreigners. I'm not going to say they're enemies, but they could be. They very well could be enemies of our country. They're coming in here illegally to begin with. But that's what the Biden administration is doing. They've broken the Constitution. They don't give a shit. They could care less about the Constitution. They could care less about their own people. I was watching Tim Pool about this, and he was saying, the FBI agents that are going along with this and are orchestrating this, because there have to be people on the ground doing this. He's pissed at him, and he should be, and I'm pissed at them too. But their excuse, if they're not in a tank for this bullshit, their excuse is, well, I got to feed my family, But look at what happened in Germany in the 30s. It's not like the Nazis walked in and instantly had control of everything. That's not how that worked. The people that did regular things in that society at that time, the majority of them, or enough of them, maybe I should put it that way, enough of them in the right places facilitated that way of thinking. And it could have been the same reason. I mean, once you can get a little bit of a toehold into government, and then you can start pushing your philosophy through government and through agencies, if at some point, if you say, I'm not going to do that, you're going to get fired. So basically, like Tim Pool said, and I agree, so they're making a deal with the devil. They're saying, well, I got to feed my kids. I got to do this. I don't have any choice. But that's how this stuff happens. It's worse than doing nothing, though. The federal agents that are orchestrating the, let's call it, the attack on our country by foreigners through Texas, they are directly damaging the people that live in Texas. I mean, they're putting them in harm's way every day, and they don't give a fuck. The people down there that live in Texas that are orchestrating this are putting themselves and their families, their kids, in harm's way, and they don't give a fuck. That's how this shit happens. But I'm really glad that Texas has told the government to fuck off. The government's actually suing Texas, trying to keep them from allowing the government to rape this country. That's what they're suing them for. So the federal government is committing treason in Texas. They're letting people come up through the borders, 10,000 people a day or something along that line, so I hear. And when Texas steps in and says, you've got an obligation to protect us, they're saying, fuck you. So Texas says, well, then fuck you, we're going to do it. Then the government says, oh, no, you can't. We're going to sue you. On what grounds is the government going to sue Texas? It doesn't really matter, though, right? If the government has in their pockets the FBI agents and the courts and the bureaucracies It doesn't matter that they're breaking the law. All it matters is that they have got criminals in place everywhere so they can get away with the things that they're doing. But I don't think they've got that much power. I don't know. They could. So the thing about staying apolitical about something, it seems to me that it leads down to this kind of a road. And so that's why I have an issue with people, even with Action Kid, not being political. I mean, if I knew he was political, if I knew his views, I might not watch what he did. Or I might put up with what he had to say. Or I might agree with what he had to say. I don't know what his views are. But he's doing it to make money. And I'm wondering, I don't know that that in itself is bad, but if you have a voice in this country and you understand what this country is, what's happening in this country right now, it seems like you're almost obligated to pipe up, to say something about it. Well, I don't know. It was funny, it was this spring, I think I was driving his Jeep, or this summer, and I was pulling up, stopping here, bone dry road, and I put my brakes on, and I screeched really, really loudly. One tire locked up. The tire that had locked up had a leaking wheel cylinder, the thing that actually manipulates the brake, and the brake pads were coated with hydraulic fluid, and when that happens to them, with brake fluid, hydraulic fluid, when that happens to a brake, to a disc, to a pad, or whatever, to a shoe, they lock up. They don't grab progressively. They'll grab a little bit and then lock up. That's what happened to me, and it was like, what was it, like 7 in the morning when this happened? So it was early. It was really noisy. I was kind of embarrassed, because it was just such a loud noise. Not that anyone was around to even hear it, but, So we're coming in. When you get into Steamboat, like where we were just at, we're sort of going east. And then we'll do some little turns around here. Right now we're sort of dodging the stinking pond, the hot springs down here, just ahead of us. Oh wait, trailer park too. Well, it used to be. Oh no, it still is a trailer park. Okay. Kind of an interesting place for a trailer park. You think Steamboat and trailers, you wouldn't have mobile home park in Steamboat, but I have a feeling if you wanted to buy one of those mobile homes here in Steamboat, you'd be needing to pony up, over $100,000 easily, maybe quite a bit more than that even. But I don't really know. And here's the pond, the stinky pond, hot springs. The namesake of this town, Steamboat Springs, is just over to our right. Used to be, anyway. It was destroyed when the railroad was put in. Actually, yeah, I'm just going to go through town. I don't ever go through town. I don't like it. It annoys me. It's usually too crowded. But it's kind of quiet today, and I should show you what downtown Steamboat looks like. It's changing. They're putting some kind of tall building in. There, I should back up the camera a little bit. So the roads here aren't great, but they have been sanded. So I think they're reasonably, they give you a reasonable amount of friction. Yes. But they're not like being on a dry road by any means. And because it's Steamboat, I think they like to keep the snow in town. So they got the snow piles you can see over to the left and to the right. But then they also do clean the sidewalks really good because there's a lot of foot traffic in Steamboat. One of the things I've noticed about Steamboat, it has a huge amount of foot traffic. I think maybe even more than Aspen. Aspen's got a lot of foot traffic too. Now Aspen has a downtown area that it used to be a road. Now it's just like a walking area. Anyway, as we're on Highway 40, we start veering to the south, and that's kind of what we've been doing here. We'll veer more and more to the south. Eventually, when we're over at the ski hill, we'll be heading south. I don't want to get in a hurry here. I'm not going to be working much today, or this week for that matter. I certainly don't want to get into an accident. That would be not good for anyone. Including my old Jeep. Getting parts for these old vehicles is getting tougher. I'm having a hell of a time getting parts for that tracker, and that's an '03. It's not that old. But I haven't got the right part yet when I've ordered it through a junkyard. I've not got the right part yet. Well, I think I got the right differential, but it just didn't. It wasn't ready to install like it should have been for something with an OEM warranty it's supposed to have on it. But they did honor the guarantee. But it did have some serious problems when I got it. It was supposed to be an OEM warranty differential. It had a bolt broke off, in one of the mounting holes, the brackets that were on the differential. There was metal in the drain plug on the drain plug. There's a little magnet on the drain plug that catches the metal. There was quite a bit of metal there. It had not been serviced. It had not been even looked at. The outer layer was just coated with oil, dirty oil. You could tell it had never been opened up. And that's not to say that it's not a good differential, but at the time, I needed a differential that I could put in because I had like a 2-day window of nice weather that I could get this done. And that all just speaking of a window, that went out the window. The latest purchase was a drive shaft. And I talked about it before. The people that I ordered it from, I mean, they were really conscientious. They wanted a VIN number. So I gave them my VIN number, and they shipped me the drive shaft, and the drive shaft was wrong. So really, the drive shaft was 1 3/4 inches too short. But again, they refunded my money. The problem is now I've got this piece of metal that's not going to do me any good. I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe there's an opportunity to do something with it. But I would really, the thing is I could extend the drive shaft. However, I can't really balance the drive shaft. I can probably set it up so that I can weld it properly. But if I mess up a tiny little bit on a drive shaft, extending the drive shaft, I have destroyed the whole point of getting a new drive shaft. Because now I've got another drive shaft that, if I'm correct, I have a different drive shaft now, so I'll just have a different vibration, or a different vibration from a different reason, but the same part. You know what I mean? Because I don't know that I can actually do it right. So I'm thinking about getting a hold of a company and having them just build me a drive shaft, or maybe have a company extend the drive shaft, or maybe repair the one I've got. I'm not sure. I really would like to have that car functioning again, even though it doesn't look like I'm going to have this job, or this job I think is going away. I mean, it really is. For instance, this week, I would work 2 days, and I do a lot of driving, but it looks to me like today, this is what I'm doing today, right here. When I'm done with this, I'm done for the week. And I'm basically just coming up and picking up product. You know, I'm not doing anything real fancy. I like it. That's not too bad. I have to watch this road. No, that's pretty good. Alrighty, y'all, I'll be back.